Hello, good evening, and welcome to Camnet Television News. My name is Jeffrey Siambo. Our top stories in the news tonight: some families at State Lodge will endure the cold as police demolish their houses. Divergent views emerge on calls to ban alcohol. LUSAKA City Council irregularly employed 731 people. In international news, the World Health Organization declares monkeypox a global emergency. And in sports news, Zambians tossed Copper Queen's WAFCON bronze medal.
On Monday, 25th July 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts the FTD President, Madam Edith Nawakwi.
So, someone must stand up for justice. Someone must stand up for justice. And if Edith Nawakwi is seeing that she's standing up for a poor family, so be it.
I'm your pastor and, of course, host.
As they discuss empowering Zambian nationals.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel. The Agriculture and Commercial Show is back, bigger and better under the theme Innovation Through Technology. And as Camnet TV, we are here to transform your business through our technology. Advertise with us on discounted rates during the month of July and during the Agriculture and Commercial Show. Special price package for live stunt interviews, on-screen product placement during the coverage of the show. For more details, call the following numbers. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Another news in detail. A distressed mother of Lusaka's Kanyama compound who recently appeared on Camnet TV explaining how her 27-year-old son is on the verge of suffering from mental illness due to drug abuse says the situation is becoming worse. In an exclusive interview, Langiwe Zulu tells Camnet TV that her son, who was recently discharged from Chanama Hospital, has been admitted back. She feels not much is being done at Chanama Hospital to help her son, Ephraim Banda, recover on time. More in this report.
She appeared on Camnet TV a week ago, narrating a predicament of how a 27-year-old son, Ephraim Banda, is at the verge of completely turning mad due to his excessive abuse of drugs. Langiwe Zulu of Lusaka's Kanyama compound had also called on relevant authorities like the Drug Enforcement Commission to offer the needed psychosocial and psychological support to her son so that he might recover as quick as possible. Ephraim, who is fond of using a common drug known in local language as volo, is now reported to have been admitted back at Chanama Hospital despite being recently discharged. Mrs. Banda tells Camnet News that her son has now spent 4 days at Chanama Hospital, where he is currently getting his treatment. However, feels not much is being done as her son keeps getting worse each and every minute.
Kapani nasa manyereti kapana mashita bwanji uti akalije bebwira kali nomo bamujose bamudrene ko madrugs yana kala mumutu ndiye meni kapempe kuchape utankalije bebwira ndabavuta hapa so je de meni mugwere usende kwa kaina napo kwanya manje vindu vaveni wake mnyumba na kukwanya nyumba tato kwanya pa window uti mchose mnyumba mweneza nambo tata vindu vamwene wake so ndipe tinapeleka ku China pa 19 jede ile chetekelo ninacho kuti mwana wanga zankhala bwino bakabwera kwantandiza kapao zankhala kapani ma doctors bomutandiza ndiza kuti bakamtandiza cha Ephraim kapani kumpasa mankhwala kuti ma drugs mumutu yachoke chichetekelo chepe ninacho da Ephraim ni mwana chapo bwino cha pa na unongeka chepe ma drugs vogwira sama ba kunkhala mwini wake niwaziyisa chitavoipa vili vonse.
Meanwhile, Ephraim's elder sister calls on various stakeholders to come on board and help brother recover as quick as possible.
Drugs akachukua mtu ni ucha mtonanga titandizeko. Drugs chape ni amna yakunga maningi. Skulu ni hiyo. Aenda ku skulu kuti asirize skulu apeza na kutina wanzake. So chape nechinga ngale kuchape watu kamchosa drugs. Angala ko chape kumbali kwa kuti sungu apezeke na bacha watu drugs yaka. Ngamucheko kaso li bacha watu bamene saziba. Kozi wose bamnaza taisa kumchita kanso salika. Lero muntu wakuti simunga ngali nayo simunga chomena ipa nyumba. Azachoka chabe uchoka mena enda azachoka bunubunu pa nyumba uchoka mena achoka kabwera. Muzaona situation ya chinji. So tikapembe kucha betandizo kuti bamene bangaziwe pavaso bangatitandizire.
According to data between 2010 and 2019, the number of people using drugs increased by 22%, owing in part of global population growth. Based on demographic changes alone, current projections suggest an 11% rise in the number of people who use drugs globally by 2030 and a marked increase of 40% in Africa due to its rapidly growth and young population. Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News.
Lusangazi District Education Board Secretary has appealed to Musanzala Member of Parliament to lobby for an increase in the number of bursary beneficiaries under the Constituency Development Fund (CDF). DEB's representative Lekford Tembo says there are many vulnerable children in the area that should benefit from the bursary scheme. Mr. Tembo adds that the free education policy is a welcome move, but schools are facing challenges with over-enrollment as there are limited classrooms and desks. Meanwhile, Musanzala constituency member of Parliament Elias Daka says, working together with councillors and Ward Development Committee members, they will seek to address educational challenges being faced in the area. He adds that working together with the Ministry of Infrastructure and Urban Development, the bad road network in the area will be worked on.
Manga kwa skulu yolera mu office ya komanso ngire sanso chito mwina ndalamaza mwapozazo kupeleka mazi kwa skulu kapena mapofu chifukwa ana atu 1000 Afrika ukala na mazi pamene aphunzira kuganizira za chakudya chimene amalandira ku skulu mwaito tikutizi kuona lero ngati office tikanakamba zambiri zabwino zimene mwachita koma mwachidule tirupempha kuna lero ponani boma lathu mwachikondi ndithu inaikapo free education. Mwa free education maskulu ayazala ni vana wonse akubwera lomba mu skulu
yakuti nchendi kamba ka free education vana vasu vanyinji bawelera ku skulu ndiponso wokhala pansi ndiponso kuya kene na monkhala kumo yamene tinena kuti ma classrooms they are not there. We have deliberately advised and approved my classroom project. I can assure you that we have at least managed 65% of classrooms here in Musanzala for this first year of our office. China chapele na kutendera mlepo nicha mabasari nizona ndarama ziliko zabana kuti wapite kuma boarding schools but pepo yanga naine yakuti tandizileni kuti vana wonse baja vanatenga mamimba vabwirere kuma skulu.
Several families at State Lodge Farm number F298AA are at the risk of spending nights in the cold following an alleged court order which compels them to vacate from the farm. The Zambia Police Service in the early hours of Saturday, 23 July 2022, demolished structures at the named farm. Meanwhile, Zambia Police Service spokesperson Ray Hamonga has confirmed that the houses were demolished by the police because they were enforcing a court order. More in the following report.
These families captured on video from Lusaka State Lodge of farm number F298A/A have been left in the court as a result of not following an alleged court order that compels them to vacate the land. In the early hours of 23rd July 2022, the Zambia police moved in and demolished their structures, leaving them with nowhere to go, hence searching for new settlements. However, the families allege that despite the court order, they should have been given ample time to vacate the said farm rather than being displaced in such a helpless manner. The affected families have accused the men and women in uniform of being unprofessional while executing their operation. They state that they were evacuated with tear gas and live ammunition, a move they claim has left some injured and destroyed properties worth thousands. Camnet TV was on ground and spoke to the affected families.
I've been living here the rest of my life, and I was so disappointed yesterday night when I just heard that the police had come with some graders and whatever guns and harassing people, beating people and demolishing the houses. We were so disappointed because this is not what we expected when we voted for this government. We thought this government was going to be totally different from the previous regime. But we've seen the worst that we've ever seen in life here.
Those spoken to disclosed to this reporter that they have stayed on the farm for more than 50 years and were not ready to leave because they consider the farm as their home. They say while government has failed to demolish their houses at Forest Reserve 27, they found it easy to demolish their houses because they are poor.
So tadabo chaba abantu mwamine babwerera so antipasepo na notice bangobwera chabe kupwa kutingenera manyumba na ambodi tira matia gasi so isesi wanatuzepo na fili fonse famne batuza kutati tingankhale na idea kuti kubwera abantu sinazivepo na fili fonse bangotingenera che munyumba ba police wenze bambiri no kamba kuti babatuma ni wa president ndiye babatuma kuti bachite hivi boma yatipasa mpamvu kuti bwe tikupisheni pano so ise pamba ntina mpamvu tilibe na kwenda tilibe.
And I also want to make an appeal to the president to say that I want to ask a question. When you are poor in Zambia, you can't acquire land. There are people who came before us. For example, Honorable Zenda Chikwanda came in 2013. They've got title. They've got part of our land. They got our orchard. There's Mr. Piri here who was a lawyer. They got part of our land. Now, if we can just accept each person to be coming to get these pieces of land, where are these families going to go? Are these not Zambians? Are these not entitled to land in Zambia?
Lusaka Central Constituency Kablonga Ward Councillor Kosam Tembo has described the situation as unfortunate.
Nangu kuti kuli court order ya mene ivomereza kuti bantu bachoke pamene siwafunika nkala. You cannot be using live ammunition to disperse the people. Aba bantu bali pano sima criminals. These are people supposed to be engaged and talked to. Because as per procedure, wameta claim kuti land ni yake, there is a court order. He was supposed to engage as local leaders so that we know him and we talk to you, so that we know how we can amicably resort to this matter. There is no way people can start using live ammunition like this.
Meanwhile, Zambia Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga confirmed the development, but was quick to mention that the officers were acting upon the court order. And when asked about the use of tear gas and the alleged live ammunition that suffocated the 6-month-old baby and others by police officers, Mr. Hamonga says officers were left with no option but to act in such a manner as the affected families were not complying.
They are helping the institution to force to evict that person. Yeah, they are carrying out the court order, given to that institution that has been allowed to do that.
Yes, that side.
Yes, if people are told to move and not moving, what do you think police will use? That's what is used to disperse people who are not on the road. If people are told to move, like if that court, that's what I'm telling you, the issue of the court order. Don't ask me, don't ask the police, ask the person who was enforcing the court order. He will tell you maybe these people are saved last year or whatever and they have been reason to move. So force has to be used for them to be removed.
Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The opposition leadership movement has advised ward councillors who were selected in the just ended 30,394 teacher recruitment exercise to resign immediately and leave politics for political players. Party Media Director Tatila highlights that it is important that resignation letters are handed over to the Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ in order to help them prepare for the elections. Mr. Tatila demands that according to the law, the councillors are supposed to resign so that the right individuals are placed in public offices and serve the people. He has therefore challenged the Electoral Commission of Zambia to call for fresh elections in the wards where resignation letters will be tendered and hope the ballot papers will be printed locally.
Want to call on councillors that were picked in the teacher recruitment exercise that there's need for them to leave their offices for political players. It's very clear the rules that governs our civil service is that once you join active politics, then you cannot work as a civil servant. And therefore we have a number of councillors that were picked in the teacher recruitment, and therefore leadership movement wants to call on these teachers to resign immediately and be able to tender in their letters to the Electoral Commission of Zambia so that the Electoral Commission of Zambia can prepare itself for the elections. We know that we have councillors that have resigned, that were picked as teachers in Gwembe, in Serenje, in Chitambo, in Chelenge, and many other places. So we want these people to resign so that we can now go to fresh elections and let people vote for people who are not civil servants as councillors. So if councillors are being enticed by politicians that they can still maintain their position while they're working as civil servant, that is going to bring a lot of confusion. And also want to state very clear that once these people are picked, we hope that the ballot papers will be printed locally. We need to test ourselves ahead of 2020.
3 former workers of a tobacco processing company called Tombwe Processing Limited are demanding that they be paid their terminal benefits after being dismissed from work in 2012. In an interview, one of the affected women, Imelda Mulenga of LUSAKA's Matero compound, states that their employer was in 2012 ordered to pay them their dues by the Labour Commission. However, he has refused to do so and proceeded to court where the verdict was in favor of the employer. More in the following report.
10 years down the line, after their dismissal from Tombwe Processing Limited, which deals in tobacco processing, these 3 women of LUSAKA's Matero compound still demand that the company pays them their terminal benefits. According to them, they allege that after their dismissal from the company in 2012, they dragged their employer to the Ministry of Labour, of which a verdict was ruled in their favor, and it was directed that they be paid 31,504,560 kwacha each as their dues. However, the company said to have overlooked the directive by the Labour Office Commission and proceeded to take the matter before the courts of law, where it was now ruled that the 3 affected women are not entitled to the said claims. Cleopatra Ndrovu, Grace Mwamba, Imelda Mulenga, all above the age of 55, feel the process was not fairly done and are now calling for relevant authorities to come to their aid.
Nasenza patobaku 15 years. Alapo wachosa nchito kulibe mulandu. Naife mkulingiri kuti fitasenza 15 years. Stinga nkalepo chabi. Tinanya muka bonzi watatu kwenda kulepa office. Kuja kulepa office wanawe yangala ma commissioner na kupeza kuti company ina mulandu ya senza bantu 15 years. Na kuchajinga wachajinga kuti watititenge ndrama yankala yo shupa manji so hapa tipempa waboma aizi ndrama zisitambira chepa mapepa
ndelo mbako mwe bantu bakwalisa mutuwebele ko buteko mutupele ndalama twachula twabombe myaka 15 years batamfshenji twapabula nangu mulandu tabatupele chipepe cha kufumisha appointwa twamitamfshenji chipepe nichi muleyo kuli konse so echo tulelomba kuli mu mfumukana besa ba president mwe balipo ba HH na ba vice president tutanga teni kwa bana benu olesheni kuli da kwesu ngambomba nalesa mtu wasuke ko mutu pokala kwenda lama kuli uvanda vini bali bomba pato bako 15 years.
After working for 15 years for a company and later be dismissed on reason not known, the 3 ladies feel hopeless looking at the current struggles that they have to deal with. They claim that the company dubiously went behind their back to take the case to court despite the Labour Office giving a verdict that they be paid their dues.
Senza patobako kutoka 1996 until 2011 Manachosa nchito no reason. Na taking a case to labor office. Labor office tinakhala pansi na company. Tina wina vana vachajinga drama zotipasa pe person mwitibili watatu. From that in dramas vanatipase up to now. So tipembako boma ititandizeko yamene ilipo hii. Vakainde office one kwa nemuliri mutitandizeko ise batombe processing batipasi kon drama zatu zanitina sevenzera. Please titandizeni government tikumbukile nko staenda mwambili maningi drama stipasiwa. So tipemba kuti boma itianganeko itikumbukile.
However, the company, which is located in Lusaka, in Mumba Road area, and deals in tobacco processing, among other things, through its senior human resources officer, Peter Chilenga, refuted all the allegations, stating that the court is superior than the labor office, hence the 3 victims are not entitled to any of the benefits they claim.
It's not correct. That case went to court and the court ruled that they were wrong. There was a court case. That case went to the Industrial Relations Court. That's where they lost the matter.
Okay, but
it's not correct. It's not correct that the company did not pay them their benefits. They took the matter to court, and the court ruled that no, they were not entitled to those benefits they were asking for.
Just imagining that for the last 10 years, these 3 women have been moving from one office to another, seeking assistance, continues to break their hearts, and they hope that a solution will be found to their problem. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Various stakeholders have shared divergent views on regulating alcohol in the country in the wake of irresponsible consumption among citizens. Former Resident Doctors Association of Zambia President Dr. Brian Sampa is calling for a complete ban on alcohol, while others are advocating for the introduction of an alcohol levy and effective implementation of the national alcohol policy. Here's a report.
They blame it on lack of jobs. Alcohol abuse has become rampant in Zambia as people opt to spend more time drinking beer from morning to sunset, hence leading to low productivity levels, family disintegration, gender-based violence, and the degeneration of morals and values in society. While the cost of living may discourage people from going for lagers and expensive spirits that have less alcohol content, while most people have resorted to unregulated spirits such as cachasu, and one just needs a 10 kwacha to get drunk. Cachasu brewers advance the notion that it is their only source of livelihood. But for this client who spends most of his time consuming alcohol, his evening looks more like this, failing to walk to his residence. To help resolve this problem, others are calling on the Zambian government to introduce an alcohol levy to respond to the effects of alcohol.
We as the civil society organization are advocating for a levy because we feel that of late we have seen the increase in the alcohol-related harms, especially among the young people in Zambia.
What we want is the government to also introduce the alcohol levy. The alcohol levy is going to help us address the harms that are created by alcohol.
But others like Dr. Brian Sampa are calling for extreme measures of completely banning alcohol in Zambia. And to demonstrate his commitment, he had to undertake a lone protest walk from Lusaka to Kawe, a gesture that does not sit well with the Zambia alcoholic family who resorted to calling him names.
To do is, I want to talk to the person to see how much they are making out of the alcohol, and then I'm going to buy the alcohol and then probably destroy it so that we can save some lives.
Notably, Zambia has in place a national alcohol policy which became useless upon its launch in 2018, and stakeholders remind the government to allocate enough resources towards the implementation of the policy.
Many brands of alcohol which are not properly regulated. Some of them don't even go through the Bureau of Standards to ascertain the requirements needed to put a product on the market. So we are saying if the policy was implemented, this is bound to provide the necessary checks and balances before we put anything out on the market.
Others have argued that banning alcohol in Zambia for now is wishful thinking, considering its contribution towards job creation and tax contribution. But others think strengthening family values and promoting responsible alcohol consumption must be upheld. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
You're watching Camnet Television News. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more news.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
On Monday, 25th July 2022 on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts the FTD President, Madam Edith Nawakwe.
So, someone must stand up for justice. Someone must stand up for justice. And if Edith Nawakwe is seeing that she's standing up for a poor family, so be it.
I'm your pastor and of course host.
As they discuss empowering Zambian nationals.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel. The Agriculture and Commercial Show is back, bigger and better under the theme Innovation Through Technology. And as Camnet TV, we are here to transform your business through our technology. Advertise with us on discounted rates during the month of July and during the Agriculture and Commercial Show. Special price package for live stunt interviews, on-screen product placement during the coverage of the show. For more details, call the following numbers. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. Late former Republican Vice President Lupando Mwape has been remembered by his family, stating that if he was alive, he would be pleased with the country's development trajectory under the United Party for National Development, such as the free education policy. And government representative Chushika Sanda says the late Lupando Mwape was a man who inspired many people and proved that it was possible to achieve one dream through discipline and hard work. She was speaking at the first anniversary memorial mass held Saturday, the 23rd of July 2022 for Zambia's 9th Vice President Lupando Augustine Festus Katoloshi Mwape. And former Vice President Dr. Nevas Mumba says the country should continue respecting and remembering those that served this great nation. More in this report.
Lupando Augustine Festus Katoloshi Mwape, born on 15th July 1950, was a Zambian politician who served as Zambia's 9th Vice President from 2004 to 2006 under the late President Levi Patrick Mwanawasa in the MMD administration. Lupando Mwape died Monday 21st January 2019 in South Africa. The year 2022 marks exactly 4 years since his death, and July 23rd, his first anniversary memorial mass held at the Cathedral of the Child of Jesus in Lusaka. Government's representative at the memorial, Minister of Information and Media, Chushika Sanda, in her speech says Lupando Mwape will be remembered as a gallant son of the nation who greatly contributed to to the development of the nation and is dearly missed by his family, friends, and the country at large.
We pay tribute to the late Honorable Lupando Mwape, a gallant son of this nation, for his great contribution to the development of this great nation, which he served with a great sense of passion. He remembered by many as a seasoned public servant who diligently served the government of the Republic of Zambia in various portfolios over 40 years. It is gratifying to note that Honorable Lupando Mwape had reached public service and political life. From a humble background of a lecturer, the Dawn government is proud of the vision and contributions made to our nation by Honorable Lupando Mwape and many other departed national leaders. We also pay tribute to our heroes and heroines of our freedom struggle for their patriotism to this country. We assure you that our government will continue to honor our fallen heroes for their commitment to the development of this nation.
And family representative Newton Nguni, Mr. Mwape's brother-in-law, says Lupando Mwape was a loving man and, if alive, would be pleased with the current works the UPND administration is doing.
Let me just tell you what Mwape Lupando would have been happy with. Honorable Minister, your government has introduced free education. Mwape Lupando would be glad if he had been here, and he would have expressed his gratitude for that because of his background, where he came from, and what education did to him for him to rise up.
Meanwhile, Nevas Mumba says Lupando Mwape was a great leader and Zambians should continue respecting and remembering those that have served this nation.
Is the fact that we all come and serve and leave. There are more of us that have left than those that are serving. So it is important for those that are serving to be present and continue to show gratitude to those who have served before them by giving them the honor that is due. And we're happy that the minister is here to support this process. So let's continue to support those that have served this country and also look after them when they are going through a difficult time.
Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Economist Edna Litana says the country lacks financial discipline as it has been unable to stick to the dictates of the national budget. She says the only way Zambia can foster fiscal consolidation is by controlling spending with the country's means to raise resources. Mrs. Litana observes that the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA, has been meeting its revenue collection targets, but the returns have not been sufficient to meet government's increasing expenditure.
What could assist the country in terms of fiscal consolidation. We've already noted that the Zambia Revenue Authority has demonstrated improved capacity to collect taxes. We know quite well that the targets were met as announced by the ZRA team themselves, that targets for revenue collections were met, and that should be able to signal to us that there's improvement in making sure that systems are much more put in place that are convenient enough to allow taxpayers to be able to pay their taxes. We've seen tax on app, tax online, among the innovations that the ZRA has made in order to ensure that domestic resource mobilization is much more enhanced. Now, in terms of how we manage the debt consolidation process, or the ability of the government to reduce debt accumulation to sustainable levels, or even reduce the fiscal deficit that we have seen in the recent past, I think that has has to do much more with, financial discipline, our ability to exercise financial restraint, and to just say that, look, we have a budget, and this budget that we have drawn, we need to stick to it. If expenditures, for example, are outside of the budget, they're extravagant, we need to set priorities that remind us that, look, we need to stick to the budget. So at the back of our minds, we need to exercise financial restraints, be cautious of those expenditures that are skyrocketing and are outside of what our priorities are for national development, really. We need to make sure that we spend at least into things that bring productive capacities to enhanced levels, so that eventually we can be able to sustainably derive revenues out of those production. And unlike consumption, that could actually be more extravagant and detrimental to the needs of our budget to remain sustainable. Yeah.
Several youths in Lusaka Saturday morning marched from Mandahir to the Ministry of Home Affairs in protest of the increase of cases in sexual violence against women and the girl children. Youth for Parliament resource person Rose Mumba says the peaceful protest was intended to remind the United Party for National Development UPND administration that protecting the country's women should be at the top of the agenda. She said Zambia is not an easy place to be as a woman, as about 17% of the women have experienced sexual violence.
Violence against women abolish! Abolish! Violence against children abolish! Abolish! Justice for Beatrice Moya! Justice!
We don't have a voice of our own. We put our voices into our leaders who choose to not use it. So here we are requesting that the president please listen to our cry as young women in Zambia. In the same way that we had the confidence to vote for you, we hope that you can also look at this issue with the utmost seriousness that it deserves. Because as we speak right now, this could be my last day. I don't know. Because Zambia is really not a safe place for any woman right now, for any child. As a mother, we are not even comfortable to sending your child on the corner to go and buy sweets or a lollipop, because you don't know what's going to happen from the house to that shop. Maybe she could get abducted and she could be gone forever. So we are asking that the Minister of Home Affairs please do something with the police system, because we can't have the police being corrupt on such issues. These are people's lives. And even just for us to get a permit, it was so difficult. Imagine a police officer in his office telling us that this is not an issue worth marching for.
Youth Changing the Mindset Executive Director Comfort Mwansa has called on the government to establish platforms that will be used to address matters affecting the youths in the country, such as HIV and drug abuse. Mr. Mwansa notes that a lot of young people engage in illicit activities, mainly because they do not have enough knowledge on how to get rid of certain habits, such as drug abuse. He has since advised young people to engage in more meaningful activities.
We had a sensitization activity at the Voice of God's Church, where we shared information on HIV transmission as well as prevention to the church members. Therefore, we are also appealing to the general public to ensure that let's make sure that we visit our different healthcare services and know our statuses, because this issue has been affecting a lot of young people and also the old people. So as an organization, we took time to share information because we understand and know that a lot of people perish because of lack of information.
Persons living with disabilities have complained about the manner in which they are receiving support from the Zambia Agency for Persons with Disabilities, ZAPID, after Acting Director General Nicholas Goma is alleged to have been fired. National Advocacy for Persons with Disability, NAPD President Euphrasia Lupia, explains that their plight has been neglected since independence and that they are not happy with the dismissal of the Acting Director at ZAPID. She has since challenged the Director General at the Zambia Agency and the Social Welfare Coordinating Officer at the Ministry of Community Development to resign. The Local Government Commission Service has found 731 Lusaka City Council employees following an audit which was conducted early this year. Commission Chairperson Axon Sejani disclosed that the Lusaka City Council audit reviewed various anomalies which range from lack of qualifications, illegal appointment letters, and boycotting the Commission's procedures. Speaking during a media conference in Lusaka Saturday morning, Mr. Sejani warned other councils dotted countrywide that the exercise will be extended to all the 116 municipal or city councils without fail. Mr. Sejani has, however, proposed that the revenue collection be digitalized to address issues of theft and corruption among workers. You're watching Camnet Television News. We'll take a second and final break. We'll be back with international and sports news.
The Agriculture and Commercial Show is back, bigger and better under the theme Innovation Through Technology. And as Camnet TV, we are here to transform your business through our technology. Advertise with us on discounted rates during the month of July and during the Agriculture and Commercial Show. Special price package for live stunt interviews, on-screen product placement during the coverage of the show. For more details, call the following numbers. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
On Monday, 25th July 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts the FTD President, Madam Edith Nawakwi.
So, someone must stand up for justice. Someone must stand up for justice. And if Edith Nawakwi is seen that she's standing up for a poor family, so be it.
I'm your pastor and, of course, host.
As they discuss empowering Zambian nationals.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
In international news, the World Health Organization, WHO, has declared the monkeypox outbreak in more than 50 countries an emergency of international concern. More than 16,500 cases of monkeypox have been reported globally. Meanwhile, thousands of Mozambicans who have sought refuge in Malawi during a tropical storm earlier this year are now returning to their country. More than 8,000 were displaced last January by Tropical Storm Anna, which hit parts of Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Madagascar and Malawi. The storm killed at least 70 people, causing widespread chaos. For more in News Beyond Our Borders, here are the stories.
That has spread around the world rapidly through new modes of transmission, about which we understand too little and which meets the criteria in the international health regulations. For all of these reasons, I have decided that the global monkeypox outbreak represents a public health emergency of international concern.
Well, Lawrence Gostin is the director of the WHO Centre on Global Health Law. He's also the founding O'Neill Chair in Global Health Law at Georgetown University, and he joins us live from Washington, D.C. Thanks very much indeed for being on the programme. So just how worried should we be about monkeypox now?
Well, I mean, we should absolutely be worried. We've seen an exponential rise in monkeypox cases. It's now in 5 WHO regions of the world, in many dozens of countries, with cases rising exponentially. So it's of concern right now. Outside of endemic areas in Central and East Africa, it's primarily, but not exclusively, but primarily within communities of men who have sex with men. But that should not lead to complacency. That community matters a lot, and it also could spill over easily to other communities, as we've seen with the HIV epidemic.
And give us an idea then, what are the symptoms? What should people be watching out for if they're watching this now?
Well, you know, there are characteristic monkeypox rashes that they should be looking at, particularly if they're in an elevated risk group, that if they've had intimate sexual relationships or close physical contact with somebody who might be ill. There should be contact tracing. There should be widespread testing, and there should be a strategic deployment of vaccines to really try to nip this in the bud. But the window for containment of monkeypox is rapidly closing, and you know we fear that this could become endemic in Europe, North America, and other parts of the world over the next months and years.
I mean, given what you say then, why do you think it's appearing in regions where it hasn't done so before?
Well, that's exactly what Dr. Tedros, the Director General, is pointing out. We've never before had such widespread outbreaks of cases that are not travel related to Africa. Clearly, there are new or different modes of transmission. Clearly, it's gotten a foothold, particularly in Europe and North America, but there's no reason why it should not spread more widely.
Thousands of Mozambicans who have sought refuge in Malawi during a tropical storm earlier this year are now returning to their country. More than 8,000 people were displaced last January by Tropical Storm Ana, which hit parts of Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Madagascar and Malawi. The storm killed at least 70 people, causing widespread chaos. According to the Malawi authorities, some refugees are being repatriated by boat. The Mozambican government has also sent 3 buses to help in the repatriation efforts. The repatriations are expected to continue over the weekend.
Let's now have some sports news. The Football Association of Zambia, FAZ, has congratulated the Zambia national women's football team for their third-place finish at the 2022 Women Africa Cup of Nations, WAFCON. Zambia beat defending champions Nigeria 1-0 in the third and fourth playoffs to earn their first ever bronze medal and highest finish in Africa's premier competition for the ladies' game. FAZ President Andrew Kamanga says the girls have done the nation proud with their heroic performances that won hearts on the African continent and beyond. Mr. Kamanga singled out the support by government among catalysts for the success of the team. The FAZ president says the fans have also been critical in spurring the team to victory. To end Camnet television news, the headlines once again. Some families at State Lodge will endure the cold as police demolish their houses. Government divergent views emerge on calls to ban alcohol. Lusaka City Council irregularly employed 731 people. In international news, World Health Organization declares monkeypox a global emergency. And in sports news, Zambians toast Copper Queen's WAFCON bronze medal. We now look at the Camnet verse of the day, which is coming from the book of James 3, verse 13 to 14. Who is wise and has understanding among you? He should show his works by good conduct with wisdom's gentleness. But if you have bitter envy and selfish ambition in your heart, don't brag and deny the truth. Thank you once again for watching the news. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Good night.